Hey, what's up guys? My name is Moda and welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel. So today's video, we're going to be talking Depin. There are some pretty big updates with two popular projects, mainly being Natix as well as Geodnet, right? So some pretty bullish news going on there. We're going to talk about that as well as just cover quick little news things on some of the other Depin projects just to keep you guys updated because this is a sector that is getting a lot of attention, right? So if that sounds good, guys, stay tuned. Let's get to this thing. So we will start off with Natix. And Natix, in case you're unfamiliar, it is a decentralized like mapping project. So think Hive Mapper. I'm sure a lot of you guys are more familiar with that. Similar concept. The biggest difference though is that you don't need specialized hardware to participate. This is one that you can do with your own cell phone. You download the app, you get it set up, throw it on your mount, and then away you go. Okay. The other big difference here is that this is very early. It's still essentially, hasn't launched on mainnet yet, right? So you currently can participate. You can earn some of the Natix token. And again, this is another just easy way to stack tokens without any real cost to you, right? So as long as you have a phone, you're able to download that app. We'll have a little code in the description for any guys who are interested. It does give you a few more tokens, but it's an easy way to just stack more coins, right? Especially right now while things are pretty stagnant. It's a good idea to look at other things, especially when there is no cost of entry, right? So pretty cool concept, and it is getting quite a bit of traction, and that's what these news articles here are going to be regarding. So they did release a progress update, just giving numbers. You know, they've had decent growth, and that's been going on. What caught my eye, though, was this. So they did get some more VC funding. So they did get a $4.6 million injection. These are the different investors. So very bullish, right? These are the types of things that we want to see with these types of projects. We need for there to be interest. We need for them to be out doing things, making partnerships. That's what's going to grow these types of projects, right? So when we see VC interest, for me, it's like follow the money, right? Because these guys are going to get their money at the end of the day. Something to think about, right? Everybody has different views and perceptions on it. At the end of the day, I'm here to make that money. When I see these guys coming in, I will be making it along with them, right? The key thing here, you don't be holding forever and get dumped on either, but this is just very bullish, right? That means there is bigger interest in this project, and this does allow them to grow, right? Which is at the end of the day is what we want to see. The other big thing is that it is now going to be on Solana. So it is officially going to be on Solana, which is a popular choice with all the other Depin projects, right? It's doing its thing. Ideally, I'm bullish on Solana, but I would rather start seeing some of these projects start maybe considering going over to Peak. So PAAQ. It is going to be a dedicated layer 1 specifically for Depin. Okay, so they actually do have a partnership currently with them. We'll see what that fully entails, and this is just one that I'm keeping my eyes on because, again, this sector is getting a lot of attention. And for there to be a layer 1 dedicated to this where others and people from all over the place can all build on, very bullish, right? So this is one that we'll talk about here briefly towards the end. But pretty bullish stuff there. So they are going to be on Solana. So pretty good news there. And they did also give us more information on their white paper. So they do have like the tokenomics, token distribution, etc., etc. It's all up there for you to peruse through if you like. Again, the easiest way to get news on these things is just through X or Twitter. They do have links to all these things. If you go on their website, you can also research some more. But pretty cool concept, and again, it's one you can get in early. You are here early, no cost of entry, just literally putting it on a dash mount, and away you go, right? So pretty good stuff there. We'll see what happens here in the future. We'll see when mainnet launches, etc., etc. But things are definitely looking good there. The other project with some pretty big updates is Geodnet, and kind of a similar story, but in a sense, it's kind of even more bullish because of the players involved in this one. So they also did get some VC funding. A few weeks ago, you can see the names here. So Pantera, which is a very big name in the world, and Vanek, also a huge name in the space, okay, for VC funding. So that is extremely, extremely bullish, Okay, so here's the PR release regarding it, because it's a pretty big deal, so that is extremely good for them. Even more bullish, Vanek actually did a whole piece on them. Literally, Geodnet, why we're bullish, kind of just going over the details of the project, what it does, what they see in the future, and some future market predictions, etc., etc. But this is pretty big, right? This is the type of attention you want to see with these projects, especially with like Geodnet. Been seeing them at like shows lately, going out there, again, building these partnerships, building these deals. These are the types of things you want to see, right? And even with like Natix, which we just mentioned, they actually did have a partnership with them as well, right? And again, this is amazing to see. These are the types of things you want to see in this space, right? So pretty freaking bullish. A lot of stuff going on there. Few things to factor in if you are thinking of getting one. If you don't have one, they do have a halving coming up in June. So June 30th, they do a yearly halving. So just keep in mind, if you were to order one, by the time you get it, the halving is going to take place, right? So if you're doing, ROI calculations or profitability calculations, just factor that in, because there's currently a 6 to 8 week lead time on these things. So again, by the time you would get it, most likely the halving would already take place. So just make sure you factor that in, okay? If any of you guys are interested in this thing, Natix sometimes through the app has little partnership deals, and sometimes they do have like a 12% coupon. Or also, I will put a coupon in the description. I think TechHustler has a coupon link, so I'll put his in there for any guys who are interested. But again, just keep in mind it's 6 to 8 weeks. But this is one that is pretty freaking bullish. It's been around. It's not something that just started last month, and it's been around for quite a while. So pretty bullish things here. I personally do not have one, have not ordered one, probably won't order one, only because I got enough junk on my roof already. Right? So it just depends on your situation. Kind of still debating on it, but overall though, for you guys who do have one or considering getting one, this is definitely one to look at, right? In 6 to 8 weeks isn't too bad, right? So just some things to keep in mind, and then also just factor in how early it is still, right? Even though it has been around a while, it's still a very tiny market cap. It's not even in the top 1,000. It's ranked number 1,058, 21 million. Okay, so this thing has a lot of room to grow. And for those of you who did get in early, it's been a nice old time, right? We go back to like October. We're at 4 cents. And even right now with all this bearish action, it's at 23 cents. Okay, so it's already had a nice little run. And again, because the market cap is so tiny, has a lot more room to run if it pops off. Right? It's nothing's guaranteed, nothing's for sure, but these are the types of things I look at when I'm looking at different projects, right? Pretty good stuff there. And then we had mentioned Peak earlier, PEAQ. It's a layer 1 specifically for Depin. The news here is that it is slowly coming out. So currently their pre-sale is going on. It's on CoinList. If you are in the US, you are excluded from this thing, so which kind of sucks. It would be nice if we could participate, because it would be a nice way to get some easy, quick tokens. So the downfall is that look at the company of people who are excluded. Excluded participants include residents of the US and its territories, Canada, China, and North Korea. So quite a bunch there, right? So kind of sucks, and it's not something either where you can like just get a VPN and get over it, because you have to KYC. Okay, the KYC is mandatory, so just consider that as well, right? So, but it is getting close to the point where we'll be able to buy this thing on a centralized exchange or a DEX. It's almost launching, so pretty good stuff, and this is one that definitely has my interest, and I'll be pretty excited for when it does launch, right? So definitely going to be following that guy. Some news on XNet, which again is like a mobile, kind of like think Helium Mobile, right? So this is a different provider. They do have their XP6 Pro. It is still up for sale. It's not going to ship for another 4 weeks. So this one's a little bit different, because you're not going to be getting like proof of coverage. This is specifically, you want to be in a business location. You want to be in a high traffic location, because that's how you're going to get rewards, right? So this one's only $200. It offloads currently to at&t, as I believe who it is. But again, for $200, if you know somebody who has a restaurant, a small mom and pop's place, have access to that, or want to go in that realm, pretty cool there. What kind of stood out to me, Canada's in this thing, right? So that's something where like Helium Mobile is not. Okay, currently they did go international into Mexico, but they have not made any announcements about Canada. So pretty cool there, pretty bullish there. So something to consider. Another little update is Demo did restock recently. So they do have them available. There is a little lead time now. It's about 2 to 3 weeks, which is not bad because this thing was like 6 to 8 weeks plus for quite a while. They did restock a few weeks ago, and they did this other restock now as well, right? So things are looking good in that department. So if any of you guys are interested, that is there, right? So just something to be aware of. Another thing to note here is if you have an Audi, you can do the thing like with the Teslas where you don't need the hardware device. You are now able to connect to it. So that's pretty cool there. Certain models, you're going to have to look at specifics, right? It's going to be newer, but just something to take note of there. Another big thing to kind of keep your eyes on, a lot of other YouTubers have been talking about this one, is Chirp. Chirp is going to be another IoT type device. And while me personally, I'm bullish on the concept of IoT and what it's doing, right? I have my helium miners. I'm super into that. And it's an excellent technology, tons of use cases. The problem is actual financial, not necessarily incentives, but like rewards, I guess you can say. Again, the big draw with IoT devices is extremely low cost, right? So from that aspect, I'm not super bullish on turning a big profit, but the advantage here with early projects is the same as with any of these other Depin projects, right? Regardless of what you think of it, as far as long-term wise, think pumpamentals and think being early, because who gets the bulk of the tokens when it's early? The early adopters. Okay, so this is one you may want to keep your eye on. This is a niche you're into. Even if you're not, it's just from the pure token aspect, depending on how they do their rewards. Is it going to be like Helium, or if it's like proof of coverage based, or is it you're only going to get rewarded based on actual usage? Not a whole lot of info, so I'm definitely looking forward to a lot of these guys' content, them talking about it, so we can really see what it looks like, how it's going to be differentiated from like the Helium devices, for example. So it has my interest, but again, I'm not super into it, but I want to see what is going to differentiate it, right? That's going to be where my interest would be. Maybe something I would consider, but just another project to keep your eyes on. And just in general, guys, just keep your eyes open in the space. It's like every week, literally, there's been something new. Another one, another sensor, another thing, another environmental thing, Silencio, like all these different things. So there are definitely easy ways to stack tokens, to stack coins, even if you're not super bullish on it, even if you're like, it's a stupid concept. That was kind of my downfall with like getting in early in Demo and Hive Mapper. I was like, what's going to be the use case of the token? And people are just going to sell it. And even with Helium, like that was my big thing when they switched to mobiles. Like, what's the actual use case of the token? Kind of just overthinking it, right? You got to remember, crypto is big in speculation. It's big in pumpamentals. Like that's a bigger thing than anything, right? So sometimes you do get a little too caught up in like overthinking it. Like, it's not going to be whatever. So-and-so can take over. That's not what matters sometimes, right? It's advertising. It's how it comes out as. Just some things to consider, right? So even though I may not purchase them, I'm definitely still interested, right? Like even I mentioned with Geodnet and all these others, right? WeatherXM, like literally there are a ton of them. I'm sure you can find something that's in your niche or something that piques your interest. Just keep your eyes open, right? Especially right now, like during these down times where if you guys are miners, GPU miners, ASIC miners, not too much of a fun time right now, right? So this is an excellent way to diversify because again, you're just paying for the cost of the unit, which in many cases is only a couple $100. You can just stack those coins, right? So just giving you guys some updates, giving you guys some ideas on how to diversify, to look at different things, different niches, and just keeping you updated, right? Because these are the things I'm interested in. These are things I'm reading, so just want to share the news, right? So let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think. Are you guys bullish on Depin? You guys are like, it's not my interest, GPU mining only or ASIC mining only? Let me know in the comments, guys. Or have you guys had good success with it? And I'll let you guys had a ton of success early with like Demo and Hive Mapper. Let me know in the comments, guys. All right, thank you for watching, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe, guys, and I am out.